Hey everybody, this is Robert Kennedy III, RK3, the host of the Monday Mindset Movement Show and president of Kinetic Communications, a communication and strategic storytelling firm focused in the real estate space. And on my episode of the Business Growth Architect Show, I'm going to reveal to you how to use storytelling to better connect with your prospects and your audience, whether in person or on video.
Welcome to the Business Growth Architect Show. I am Beate Chelette. I am the host. I want to welcome you to our globally top 10% ranked podcast, where you will hear from industry experts about the strategies that are working right now to unlock hidden opportunities in any market so that you can grow your authority and scale your impact. And now let's get started with the show. And welcome back. This is your host, Beate Chelette from the Business Growth Architect Show. Today, we're talking about something that you love to hate and you hate to love, and that is video. How do you show up on video? How long is a video? What do you need to know about doing a video? Should you do a video? What if you look like an idiot on a video? What if you get breaking out in hives before you get on a video? And we're going to talk about all of this and more. And with me on the call is Robert Kennedy III from Kinetic Communications. So welcome to the show.
Hey, Beate, how you doing today? Do me a favor. I'm a speaker, right? And so I like to make an entrance. And so I just want you to say, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Robert Kennedy III. Ready?
Okay, 1 second. All right, here we go. Drum roll. Ladies and gentlemen, with us on the call, the long-awaited, the one and only Robert Kennedy III.
Oh yeah, come on, hold on 1 second. I got some people. Yeah. Let me get rid of that guy. Let me bring some other people in.
Oh, this is the best for those of you who can't see this on the video. Like, I have a full-on animation with people dancing and confetti, the whole 9 yards. Talk about production value, Robert. You're bringing it.
Yeah. I'm so glad to be here. I just like excitement. I like to have a little bit of fun. And I believe that when you're in a space, you don't just kind of enter it with just regularity. You want to make a statement, you want to create some visibility, you bring the energy and you shift and transform the atmosphere wherever you are. Okay?
Well, you certainly have done that. So for somebody who for some reason completely missed who you are, will you tell them who you are and what you do?
My name is Robert Kennedy III. RK3 is what the cool people call me. I run a communications training company called Kinetic Communications. And if you're wondering about the name, I was a science teacher for many years in high school, and I taught physics. So in physics or physical science, the energy of movement is kinetic energy, Kinetic. And so I love to infuse energy into my presentations, my videos. And I believe that presentations shouldn't be just informational. They should be transformational, meaning that they should move people from where they are right now or where they were, move people from where they were before they encountered you to a place that they dreamed to be. So the combination of kinetic and Kennedy is how we came up with the name Kinetic Communications. And so
I absolutely
that's who I am.
Love that. So I have like 10,000 questions for you. And I know that our listeners, when it comes to video, are going to have a lot of the same questions. So let's just get the most important question out of the way. Who needs video?
If you are a small business owner, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a real estate agent, if you are who else? Everybody needs video. If you're in a situation where you've got a process, a program, a product, and you want to create visibility, you want to connect with your audience about it, then video is one of the best ways to do that.
People say, I need video. Okay, I got that. Everybody does video. Gary Vee does it. All the internet marketers are doing it. They're everywhere. When I scroll through my Instagram feed, talking heads, 3 secrets to the 5 things that it's like become this like massive infomercial of talking heads. And we'll talk about what to do and what not to do in a minute. But tell me, what should my expectation, or what is my goal for doing video? Why? Why?
Well, the number one word is connection. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. You can write all the blog posts you want in the world, but when people read your blog post, they're not hearing your voice. They're not hearing your audible voice. And so what happens is they get the information that's good, and they may put a voice on in their head, but they don't really get to know who you are. They don't get to know your personality. They don't get to see your body language, right? And they don't get to see your vibe. And I like to say that your vibe attracts your tribe. The people that like you, the people that connect with you will do so even more because they're able to see how you show up, how you operate, how excited you are, how passionate you are. All of that comes across in a video. They have to take many more steps if they're just encountering you on text or only in audio. Video combines all of that, and it creates the connection so much more quicker than any other medium.
Yes, I think that there's a lot to be said about that. Now we have identified that we need video. We have identified why I need video. Now let's talk about how.
Yeah.
So 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, webinars, master classes. Help me out. What's the best format?
I don't know if I would use the word best. It's all of them have a purpose. All of them have a reason. I would say the short form videos, when I say short form, we're talking about anything that's stories, Instagram stories or Facebook stories can be 15-second videos. And the purpose of those is really to establish connection, likability, hook the audience, right? And then the longer form videos, anything that is 5 minutes long or longer, is really meant to dive into a topic a little bit more deeply. So if you want to connect with your audience and just give them some quick tidbits, yeah, the 30-second videos, the YouTube shorts that are 60 seconds, yeah, get them connected to you, get them liking you, get them to say, oh my gosh, not only was the information good, sweet, and quick, I like this person. I like Beate. I want to follow Beate even more because I just like the way that she was jumping around. I like the smile. I even like the streak that she had in her hair, right? And I want to find out a bit more. So it's about the purpose, right? You talked about master classes and webinars. Yeah, those are longer form versions of video that have a purpose of, okay, somebody wants information, but now they want to spend an hour with you so that you can walk them through 5 steps in depth and then give them an even greater solution after that. So there's a continuum of things at this point. It's not necessarily what's best, it's what you need to use with most intention for what purpose.
So what I'm hearing you say is that before I go and turn the video on, I want to be clear about what I'm trying to achieve with this particular piece of video content. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I see a lot of people making the mistake of just turning the camera on, and then before they know it, they've talked and rambled for maybe 5 or 6 minutes and didn't get to something that's useful for their audience. And so it's helpful to know what you're creating and why you're creating it so that you can be even more intentional about the words that you say and how you show up in your video.
I like that a lot. And we're going to talk about the storytelling piece because rumor has it that you are going to share with us some strategies around storytelling. And we're going to be doing this right after this quick message. Are you looking for the hidden opportunities for you in this market? Or are you simply wanting to figure out what is your unique differentiation factor that makes clients want to work with you and not your competitors? If this resonates, I want to invite you to go to uncoverysession.com and schedule your 15-minute complimentary uncovery session with one of our business growth advisors that will take you through what your number one business growth blocker is, what you can do to remove it, and what your very best next step should be. And now let's get back to the show. Beate Chelette and Robert Kennedy III back talking about video, and we are now diving into the strategy behind video.
Yeah.
So storytelling. The classic story is the underdog going on the journey, having an idea, encountering all kinds of terrible things. Finally, somebody gives them a horse and a sword, and they fight the dragon, and then they go and they get the girl and they live happily ever after. Is that the storytelling that we are using when we're doing video?
It could be. I mean, I think when we hear the word story, a lot of people think once upon a time and the hero's journey, as you just mentioned. A lot of people think about that. When I talk about storytelling, I'm really talking about story format or story framework, right? And the reason why that's important is because when you're getting on video, if you take people on a journey, they'll follow you, right? And it's not just about taking them on a journey. It's about helping you to understand what you're doing. Where do you start? What's in the middle? And then where do you end? So if we think about this from a storytelling format, stories have 4 main elements. Stories have context, characters, conflict, and a conclusion, right? Those are the 4 main elements in almost every good story that you've ever heard in your life. So if I were to tell you this story of a young man or a baby, his parents decided that they were gonna send the baby on a trip, and then they put the baby in a spaceship. Spaceship landed in a cornfield. Two people found the baby in the cornfield, took him home, and they raised him, sent him to high school, sent him to college. After college, he went to work at a newspaper, met this girl. They loved each other, got married, and lived happily ever after. The end. You're not
I think I'm sorry, I just fell asleep in that story.
Right? You're like, dude, where were the bombs? Where were the villains? Where was the drama? Where was the conflict? Where was the trouble?
Yeah, it's
Right?
like good for him, you know?
Right, exactly. So we like drama as human beings. So that's what we leverage in our stories. And it's not so much that we're trying to be clickbaity, it's that people have challenges in their lives. Right? We're human beings. Stuff breaks. We're trying to get better. From a storytelling perspective, there's one element that I really want to lean into. So context, characters, conflict, and conclusion. I want to lean into that conflict. I want to lean into that. If I think about this from a video perspective.
Yes, go ahead. That would have been my next question. How do I take a story like I opened a business, I'm helping people. How do I add this magic formula to it?
So here's how we do the formula. People don't care about what you do. They only care about themselves and the stuff that they're having problems with.
Real shocker here, people. Real shocker, real revelations.
Exactly. So you want to hook people with the thing that they're already struggling with. If I've got a business, let's say that I started a landscaping business or a lawn care business. Do I walk around with a card and say, hey, people, I've got a lawn care business? Or do you walk around and say, hey, have you been struggling with the weeds in your lawn? Do your plants, are they all uneven? Are you struggling with growing them? Do you just pull your hair out? Robert pulls all the hair out. Do you pull all your hair out trying to get your plants to grow at the right time every season? They're like, yeah, oh my gosh, plants suck. I don't want to deal with plants anymore. Right? So you're like, okay, cool. I've got something that I can help you with, that can help you with that. Let me take that off your hand. Oh yeah, let me hear more about that.
So what I'm hearing you say is that as I'm starting to work on my strategy for my video, the first thing I want to do is think about what is it that my prospect, my lead, my potential client customer is struggling with. So I have a trick question for you now.
Okay, let's trick.
I know as a fact, myself included, that us experts want to vomit everything we know. I call this the knowledge vomit, all at once on our clients. How do I not do that? How do I know out of this entire client transformation journey that I've spent 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years to build? How do I know which piece to take out that's relevant to them?
I love it. I love it. So let's lean back into the storytelling here. So we've got the 4 elements: context, character, conflict, conclusion. There are 2 additional elements that I put in between. One I called a catalyst, and another I call a call to action. All right. And they're kind of inverses of each other. So that catalyst statement is the one thing that you want your audience to remember, the one thing that you want them to take away, the one thing that you want them to take action on, the one thing that you want them to know or do. Anytime that you're creating a video or speaking, you want to be intentional about, listen, if I have 10 things that I want to say, what's the one thing that I want my audience to remember? If I ask them about this a week later, what's the one thing? So that's where we're a catalyst statement.
So this is the main thing that needs to be the main thing. So I need to be clear about what is the main thing, the theme of this video.
Not just a theme. There may be a theme, but if there's something that I want my audience to do, I want to be clear on what that is. For example, let me give you an example of a catalyst statement that I might include in the video. I'm showing you blank so that you can know how to blank within the next blank, right? I'm showing you how to change a light bulb so that you can skip going to AutoZone and have more money in your pocket.
Let's give them a real example, right?
Yep.
I'm a consultant.
Yep.
I do strategy. I help people to find opportunities right now in very difficult, challenging times. I can go all kinds of ways. I can go strategy, authority, scaling. They're probably not scaling right now, or their scaling is not their biggest thought. Their biggest thought right now is probably, how do I find more clients? What should I do? My God, what I've done is not working. So how do I take all of this and how do I, because I think this example is probably true for every coach, consultant, experts listening. So take me through, what do I do? Like, how do I formulate this in my head?
Right. So what is it? A lot of us have a process that we go through to solve problems for our potential clients. For coaches, it may be some specific framework that you take them through. For a lot of people, it's a product, but more than the product, it's the thing that the product does. When people have a challenge, you're trying to get them to say, what is it that I need to do? Because that's the question that people ask you, right? What is it that I need to do? So as you're coming up with your catalyst statement, you're saying, I'm showing you how to do this in order to help you do that.
The first thing that they say is, I have no idea why what I do is not working.
Right. Okay. So if they're telling you why, they have no idea, but they know that there's a benefit that they want, you know that the problem that you, or the solution that you have, will help them navigate that. So it's not so much about getting them to recognize what they're doing is wrong. It's about helping them to lean into the benefit that they want. And so if they're able to say, yeah, I want this, I want more leads, then you're saying, okay, I've got this 5-step process to help you get more leads over the next 2 weeks. Right. So that catalyst statement is designed for them to now ask you the question.
Because people don't know what they don't know. So instead, you're saying, I should fill in the blanks for you now.
Yeah. Yeah. So you should. So you are leading them to the benefit. So the benefit is, I want more clients. Right. What they're doing right now is not working. So you're saying, okay, you're doing this. Let me show you a 5-step method to help you get more clients in the next 30 days. And then you go ahead and explain what that method is.
But not in too much detail, because
Correct.
then we're giving them the solution.
Correct.
So tell me then, how do I structure then the message? Because that's the other thing that I see a lot that coaches do wrong, where we immediately want to go into the coaching and say, oh, that's easy. You know, you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we wonder why they never call us, because we just gave them the formula.
Yeah. And you can break that down. So if it's a 5-step method, you say, hey, there's this 5-step method. In order to really implement it, it's going to take, a couple of 30 minutes or 2 hours. But let me give you this one thing. Let me give you the first step that you will need to start implementing. And even if you just implemented this first step, here's the benefit that it's going to provide for you. You're going to be able to do this much. And once you've accomplished this, let's talk a little bit further and we can walk down the rest of the road together. Right? You want to get them moving. Again, as I said earlier, people move even more when they see progress. They see that something has happened. Oh my gosh, I did this one thing that Beate told me, or that Robert told me, and I saw this result, or I saw this difference. Let's see if we can build this even further. I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can implement this. Here's another example. Maybe if you see that people are doing something wrong, you know that their ultimate result is that they want more clients. But you might see what they're doing and you might create a video that says, here are the 5 main reasons that people do not get clients, right? And so you've hit the conflict, and then you start to go into, okay, this is reason number 1, this is reason number 2, this is reason number 3, this is reason number 4. Okay, so how do I get past that? Okay, well, there's a formula that I have, or there's a process that I can take you through, and here's the call to action. I want you to go to this website. I want you to click this link. I want you to download this, and whatever it is, your process as a business owner is to get them to move from one place to the other. But part of how you get them to move from one place to the other is by really connecting with them through the problems that exist in their space, sharing with them that you understand the challenges that they're experiencing, and then you've got a solution. And it's just to get them to that next step. Once they get to that next step on a phone call or in a meeting with you, then you can go further if you choose. You can do all 5 or just one, but it's a continuum. It's a process. It's a journey for your clients.
I love that. And just like what we just said about, so if we put this in a context of a podcast, so I think then the logical thing for us would be to say, we were talking to Robert Kennedy III, who has now explained to you the storytelling formula of the video. However, there are many more formulas and you have to identify which the right formula is for you. So for more information on how you can show up on video and you can land the clients by utilizing video, please connect with Robert, who will tell you, and then you jump in whatever you're going to tell him now. How can we find out more about what you do?
You can just go to getintouchwithrk3.com. As I said, Robert Kennedy III, RK3 is what the cool people call me. So if you go to getintouchwithrk3.com, you can download resources there. You can reach me there, and all of the different places that I am on the interwebs are listed there.
I really love that. And I wanted to just bring this in at this point because I think it's important that people understand that we can add this at any given time in any kind of communication. Why do people struggle with, though, the call to action and the asking? What is there psychology behind it? Is it the good girl, good boy syndrome? Why do we struggle with wanting to be liked and rather give everything away for free and struggle ourselves versus keeping these cliffhangers and then asking for money when we do these videos?
We're human beings. We don't like pain. We run away from pain, and pain involves also not just physical pain, but sometime in the past where we were told no. We don't like being told no. No is like a form of rejection, or silence is a form of rejection in the online world. Right. So a lot of us are saying, oh, if I give it away for free, then people are going to like me, or that's kind of like people saying yes, because I didn't have to get over the objection. I didn't have to hear the no. I didn't have to hear the pause. Right. And we are adverse to that. We're averse to that, and we run away from it. So the solution is simply to begin knowing what the result is that you want and begin repeating it, even in small steps. Begin repeating it. So when we talk about call to action, it doesn't have to be the big call to action. It may be the small one. It may be just visit this website, download this. If you're thinking about selling products, okay, maybe you start selling a $7 product, and then you move to a $50 product, and then to a $5,000 product, getting yourself used to that process of selling and gaining your confidence through repetition.
So let's say somebody now listened to this podcast or watched the video and said, this is so good. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to outline my video. I got the idea about the catalyst and, the connection, the call to action. I got all of that. But I don't know what my desired outcome is because I'm still confused about all the different things that I do. Is there a trick that you use to help them reverse engineer this?
Well, we kind of do reverse engineer it, because you may not be clear on what your desired outcome is, but you've got to be clear on what the client or the prospects or the customer's problem is. If you understand that, then you know that your goal is to figure out a solution or something of that nature for them. If it's something as simple as they're not clear on what the best restaurant to go in a specific state or a specific area, what are your frameworks, or how do you decide what restaurant to go to? If you start out with that as your hook, if you start out with their problem as your hook, then you can walk through the rest of the process, and ultimately you'll come to a place where there is a solution or a suggestion that you have for them. And then you'll just offer yourself as, hey, if you want more suggestions, then connect with me here.
And I bet this is the paid version of the solution that you offer, is where you help people that are having a challenge with that to figure that out. And I want to emphasize this for everyone listening, is there is no way for you to be getting around video, none. So for you to get this right, if you do it, you may as well get it right. So take him up on his offer. We have all the links in the show notes, and find out more about him. Robert, this has been amazing. I feel I learned a lot. Thank you so much for being here.
It's been my pleasure. I've loved it. You're a really good interviewer. Thank you so much for the time and the opportunity. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. And I think I'm gonna have to do a better outro now that I have you here. All right. So let me give this a shot. Ladies and gentlemen, and this concludes today's episode of the Business Growth Architect Show with no other than Robert Kennedy III. Thank you for being here, listening, and watching.
Fantastic.
Until next time, everyone, and goodbye. Thank you for listening to or watching the show. We are so excited that you're here, and we are very grateful for you. Now it's our turn to ask you for help. Please do share this episode with one other person that needs to hear what we were talking about today. If there's any question you have about business, please do reach out to us and let us know. And don't forget to schedule your complimentary uncovery session at uncoverysession.com, where one of our business growth advisors will help you to figure out what your number one business growth blocker is in only 15 minutes. And that's it for us today. Until next time.